I know there are many definitions for joy.
What Francis is saying, and what he quotes Benedict actually in there, saying that joy comes from our encounter with Christ, and that's what this is about. Not only our encounter with Christ, but also what that encounter does to us and how we live that out.
The role of joy is central. It's key. It's vital.
My mother-in-law died, which is not, I didn't feel joy because she died. She's a wonderful woman. She died Monday of Holy Week, and my husband is a music and liturgist, so that was incredibly inconvenient for him and for her. It was very stressful. But then to be able to go, he's from Minnesota, we went to Minnesota and we spent the Triduum up there, and going to Mass and kind of basically, you know, going through her feelings, dying with Christ, and then rising with Christ. And then her funeral was Easter Monday. It was the most beautiful funeral I'd ever been to, and it's the most kind of tangible moment of feeling God's love and God's promise in our lives. And I thought that was just, I think of that still and get chills, because death is always hard, it's always difficult, but to know, to live that dying and rising with Christ just right then, and to experience that was just amazing for me. And just, I think of joy and hope. That hope comes along with that one as well.
I see joy most in my ministry.
My friend Katie, she's Sister Catherine now, but she joined a religious order. She's on her way to becoming a sister with their community. And seeing her in her life and living out her vocation in its fullness, you just see that she's in the right place. And that talking to her and being around her anymore makes you feel like you're in the right place in your vocation, and makes me as a married person, understand how I'm supposed to live out my life. And that is, I think that's one of the gifts of knowing who you are and knowing where you're supposed to be.
You absolutely got to make time for reading, study, prayer, contemplation, so that when these moments come about, you're able to recognize them. I mean, I think the moments can be very sustaining, but on the other hand, if we don't train ourselves to notice them, we're going to miss them. You can't plan a good sunset, but you happen to look up and the sun is setting, and you think, that is beautiful, you know, and one is transported. I know that sort of sounds very kind of romantic, but I also think it's true.
Walking. And just out of the blue, an inner voice said to me, "My nature is joy, my name is joy." And so for me, joy is another name for God. And when you're in union with God, and when you let your life be inundated by God, you're flooded with joy. And for me, my experience of God is one of joy. It's like a bubbling up.
And yet I was so happy that I was in such a place that I could do that I could sit with others and allow God's grace to come in.
And I think a lot of it has to do with then reflecting on, at whatever time is available to one, reflecting upon the events of the day, reflecting on the blessings of the day, reflecting upon the way in which God speaks, not apart from, but in the very midst of our busyness.